on Chicago Sports Network is brought to you by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. 9 runs in 1 inning for the White Sox last night in their Game 1 win over the Giants. It was picture perfect. And so is this afternoon on the Bay. It is gorgeous here at Oracle Park. And the White Sox will try and take Game 2, win the series, and set up for a Sunday sweep of the San Francisco Giants. Interesting pitching matchup today for the White Sox and Giants as well. Sox going with an opener in Brian Hudson. After that, it'll be Eric Fetty, and Adrian Hauser starts for the Giants. Former White Sox himself. We'll talk more about this pitching matchup in just a bit. Welcome into the ballpark, everybody. I'm Connor McKnight. Lovely to have you with us. A really kind of historic offensive night for the White Sox last night. John and Gordon will walk you through that in just a bit. But the White Sox are doing something they have done often and get to do again tonight. An opener in Brian Hudson against the Giants. The big, tall, 6'8" left-hander has been good, either as the opener or closer or in high leverage. You can look at his numbers in the 2 opening events already this season. He has moved into the trusted role for the White Sox in this bullpen. Hauser pitched for the White Sox last year, 11 starts, and he was dazzling. A high ground ball rate that led him to get traded. The White Sox were able to recoup some interesting prospects in that deal. Hauser in his last 2 starts for the Giants has gotten things back to looking like they were for the White Sox last year. A rough beginning to the season, but he's kept the ball on the ground, and the Giants have benefited with that 2.31 ERA. The offense exploded last night. Murakami at the center of it all, and while it might have been a bit painful for Sam Antonacci getting hit twice, it was a lot of fun to watch. John and Gordon will take you through it when we come back on CHSN.
White Sox baseball on Chicago Sports Network is presented by Toyota. Visit your local Chicagoland Toyota dealer or Toyota.com today. Let's go places. By Davis Law Firm, your Chicago lawyer. By Prevagen, made for your brain. And by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. That's Wintrust. Visit wintrust.com/here to learn more. Welcome into Oracle Park. Miguel Vargas and the rest of this White Sox team getting ready for Game 2 against the San Francisco Giants. A chance to win this series and build off of what this offense did last night. 9 runs in 4 in the 4th inning. It was an impressive display. White Sox finding a different way to win, using the small ball to get it done against the Giants. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside Gordon Beckham. I'm John Triffin. All right, since April 17th, the White Sox lead Major League Baseball with 52 home runs. We didn't see a home run last night. We did not see a ton of slug last night. It was a different brand of baseball for the White Sox, getting it done in that big 4th inning.
Yeah, the White Sox offense on this road trip has been very hit or miss, but last night in the 4th inning, it was all hit. 3 hit by pitches, 5 hits, and they're the only team in the modern era since 1900 to score 9+ runs in a 9-inning game, with all of their runs and hits coming in that same inning. The 9 runs were the most they've scored in an inning since May 7th, 2023 at Cincinnati. The guys were doing it all. They were going the other way. I love their approaches, and it was all they needed, those 9 runs, to take down the Giants last night. The hustle was there, the focus was there, and hopefully the White Sox offense will pick up where they left off yesterday.
Mooney Mania taking over the West Coast here in San Francisco. He's got 17 bombs on the season. We want to see him hit it into McCovey Cove. Will he make a splashdown this afternoon? First pitch, it's coming up next. And it's time for baseball here in San Francisco as we get started for Game 2 of this series against the Giants. Sam Antonacci, he is ready in the box. Adrian Hauser on the mound, fires in the first one, and a strike 1 called here to Antonacci. He has become the ultimate leadoff hitter for the White Sox, as Antonacci got on base 3 times, scored twice in the ballgame, stole a base, even got hit by a pitch twice in the same inning. The first White Sox to ever do that in the history of the franchise. What's been fun about him is that he does things his way. And even though the White Sox have made some adjustments with him, still brings his unique brand of baseball to the diamond every day.
The thing that you might have missed if you just looked at the box score was, hey, he didn't have a hit, right? But he was on base 3 times, stole a base, scored twice. That is what you want in a table setter. Ended up being 0 for 2 with a couple runs scored, a stolen base, and a walk and 2 hit by pitches.
Have you seen a guy over the course of your playing time play the game like Sam Antonacci does?
I think he's got a unique brand. I mean, I think that he's a type of player that probably a lot of people don't like playing against him, but if he's on your team, he's the guy that you love having on your side.
0-2 pitch from Hauser. And a fastball in there, called strike 3 to start this ball game. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Chicago White Sox. It'll be Munetaka Murakami now stepping in, batting in the 2-hole. Vargas, Montgomery, Maedroff at second. Benny Kelnick, he is back after a late scratch last night. Peters and Drew Romo has the plate. That one drops in there. Strike 1 here to Munetaka Murakami. It's time for the lines to watch, presented by Circa Sports. A player to hit a home run here today. Who are you going with, Murakami, Montgomery, or Vargas?
I think I'm going with Murakami just because I want to see a splash hit in the Bay. And he's taken some big hacks, but was able to shorten up yesterday for that 3-run double.
We asked around, and nobody has hit one into the water yet this season. And a splashdown is considered that it has to go and hit the water on the fly. It can't trickle in.
I see what you did there. Trickle into the water. Very nice.
Big swing by Murakami as he fouls that one off. He was a big part of that 9-run 4th inning last night. Stepped up, bases loaded, cleared them with a double, and just the way he approached that bat against a tough lefty, a slider taking it the other way. Will Venable told us this morning he was really impressed, and it just shows the quality of a hitter that Murakami is.
You know, we highlighted it last night, right? It was a big moment, and they had already scored 5 runs in the inning, but it just felt like there was still a knockout punch to be had, and he got down 0-2. You didn't know how he was going to be able to handle that, but then just shows what kind of hitter he is, just slapping the ball the other way for a 3-run double.
And to also do it with such force. I think that's the other thing that a lot of people are noticing about Murakami. Even when he lands down on that front side, still has enough power to send that one the other way and get all the way to the wall.
He's got some good lag in his bat, right? He lands, he's a little bit fooled, and then he just stays on it, and the ball just jumps off his bat.
3-2. It is back to Hauser on the mound. He will make the flip over to first. And the first 2 White Sox are retired.
Well, John just talked about him. Adrian Hauser on the mound for the Giants. He won a 2nd consecutive game after going winless through his first 6 starts. Last game he pitched 6 innings, allowing 4 hits and 1 earned run, striking out 3. He did walk 5, though, something to watch today. Big difference recently is Hauser has found his sinker in May, throwing it a lot more, 55% of the time. And opponents are just hitting 152 off of it. You've already seen 1 ground ball. You're likely to see more today.
Strike 1 already to Miguel Vargas as he fouls that one off. Adrian Hauser was so good with the White Sox last season. Will Venable said every time he took the ball, we had confidence that we could get the win. And clearly this team is a lot more talented this year than last year. But Hauser was basically the Davis Martin of the staff for the White Sox.
Yeah, you're right, John. I mean, this is one of those days where he's facing his old team. And last year with the White Sox, he went 6-2 in 11 starts with a 2.10 ERA. So really pitched well for them before getting traded to Tampa Bay at the deadline.
That one just missing off the outside.
And you had every one of those infielders for the Giants moving towards their dugout. Every one across the board thought that was strike 3. Good eye by Vargas and no challenge from behind the plate, Susac.
That one does catch the corner, and Miguel Vargas is going to challenge called strike 3.
I think this is a pretty good challenge. I feel like it was a little off the plate, but it's going to be close.
It is a ball.
Chicago's on turn. Chicago retains both challenges.
You know what's interesting as ABS, powered by T-Mobile, in this new ABS era, it's going to impact pitchers like Adrian Hauser. He has to be able to live on the corners, and he's not going to get calls like that like he did in the past.
Yeah, it's become tougher, and it's definitely an advantage for the hitters because hitters really understand. They understand the zone, and they generally know when a pitch is off the plate. Also, catchers all over it, as we've seen with Caro.
3-2 in the air to right field as Gilbert drifts back to make the grab, and the Sox retired in order. When we come back, the opener, Brian Hudson, takes the mound. Take a look at the starting lineup for the San Francisco Giants. This is a team that has lost 4 games in a row, trying to get out of this rut that they're in. Adames, Arise, Schmidt, Dever, and Chapman, the big 5 at the top. The Giants are hoping to get more out of their offense this season.
Brian Hudson comes on to be the opener. This will be his 3rd time being that opener this year. He's been scoreless for the first 2 times that he has done that. So they'll look for another one, and you might think, well, there's only 2 righties up. Well, Adames is one of those reverse split guys. Doesn't like facing lefties, or at least doesn't hit as well off of them as he does righties. So the White Sox view this as Hudson can face 3 out of 4 quote-unquote left-handed batters.
And Brian Hudson has been pitching very well for this White Sox team. He's only given up runs in 1 of his last 22 outings, and that was the game 1 of the series in Chicago against the Cubs when he gave up 2 runs. Other than that, he has been lights out the last 2 months. Not well hit, as my drop will catch that floater. 1 away to start this bottom of the 1st.
Here's the weather presented by 4 Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, and it is about as picture perfect as it can get. 61 degrees, feels like 58, but it is beautiful out here on the West Coast. Beautiful view of the bay for me and John, and we get to watch a baseball game at the same time.
Just an outstanding day here in San Francisco. Oracle Park opened back in 2000. One of the most beautiful venues in the entire game. Quickly 0-2 here to Luis Arise.
Yeah, Arise just giving 2 freebies. I don't really think I understand that, but Arise, really good hitter, so I wouldn't understand it. He clearly does.
Arise comes into play today in the top 10 in Major League Baseball in terms of batting average. Hitting .321 this season. That is 5th best.
And I like the way the left side of the infield for the White Sox has shifted. They've counteracted what he did last night. He hit a couple balls right at the shortstop, and now you've seen Colson move over towards the 3rd base bag, and Vargas a little bit closer to that straight up shortstop position.
2-2 from Hudson. Part of the recent success for this White Sox team has been the play of the bullpen. Brian Hudson in the entire month of April did not give up a run in 13 appearances, and he built up the confidence as Will Venable has going to him a lot more now in key situations. Two-two. In the left field, Antonacci makes the adjustment and slides to make the catch. There's out number 2.
I knew that was going to be hard. Obviously, Antonacci is learning left field on the fly. This is a place where the wind plays all over the place. It moves the ball. And then when you have a lefty going the other way, that ball is going to slice towards that line, and Antonacci runs it down, makes the catch. It's not the prettiest looking thing you've ever seen, but guess what? The ball's in the mitt, out number 2. Really good job by him.
This one a little easier for Antonacci. And a very quick 1-2-3 first inning for the opener, Brian Hudson. Rate is a proud partner of the 2026 White Sox. The Rate app gives Chicago fans an all-in-one wellness app with tools to build financial strength and guidance for fitness and stress management. Feel better, live better, play better. Download the Rate app today. No scores. We start this second inning here in San Francisco as Colson Montgomery leads things off for the White Sox. Gordon, you pointed out a little different stance for Colson Montgomery in the ball game last night. It was that front foot just bowed in ever so slightly. What'd you think of the adjustment?
Yeah, I think it's good. He's just trying to keep that front hip in, keep him square just a little bit longer. You see right there, he just kind of a little bit out and around that front hip, and putting up that his front foot is really just trying to keep that hip closed just a tick longer. And that's all it needed. He hit a couple balls hard last night, looked a lot better at the plate. Hit a ball, what, 114 and a half off the bat. That was an out, and then tapped one down the third baseline at about, what do you think, 6 or 7?
It was like 70 miles an hour.
Oh, wow, okay. That's faster than I thought.
Goes down swinging here to start this second. Let's go to Connor for some news and notes.
Juan Soto picking it up for the Mets. Better late than never. He's been big over his last 10 games, although had an 800 OPS heading into this hot stretch. For the Cubs, never as bad as when you're cold, never as good as when you're hot, but it has been cold for them lately, getting shut out at Wrigley yet again this afternoon. Guardians are going for 8 straight. Little weather in Philly. It's a good pitching matchup with Ciccone and Wheeler, who has been hot for the Phillies. That's the matchup if they get it in later today, guys.
We are certainly rooting for the Phillies because Cleveland has the longest win streak in Major League Baseball right now with 7. As Chase Maidroth steps in here with 1 out. The good news, though, is Zach Wheeler. Phillies have won each of his first 5 starts of this season, so this is number 6 for him. Let's see if he can shut down the Guardians. Strike 1 in there to Chase Maidroth.
I didn't realize we were facing the Gigantes today, but we are.
Special theme day here on this Saturday afternoon. Grounded to third. It is Chapman. Sets the feet, makes the throw. Out number 2.
I believe that's Spanish for Giants.
Well done, my friend.
Thank you.
I've heard a lot of people love when you use Spanish on the broadcast.
They do. See, Poppy.
Mi amigo. Andrew Benintendi at the plate now with 2 down. This half inning is brought to you by Wintrust. We've seen a hotter bat from Andrew Benintendi over the last 6 games. He is 8 for his last 22 at the plate. That's good for a .364 batting average. And we've talked a lot about the younger guys benefiting from guys like Murakami and what he has done. A lot of big bats stepping up. But Andrew Benintendi is also benefiting now. Take some of the pressure off of him. And he's now settling into his role here in the 6th hole. Popped up left side. It is Chapman shielding his eyes from the sun. And makes the grab to end this top of the 2nd inning.
Sox fans, you could watch the Sox from our suite on June 13th and enter for a chance to win the entire CHSN suite in our Summer Suite sweepstakes. That's you and 9 friends in a private suite at Rate Field. To enter, scan the QR code on your screen or visit shop.chsn.com and sign up for a Sox Summer Pass between now and June 3rd. No purchase necessary. See official rules for details. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
Very well done. This should be the last batter for Brian Hudson, the opener, as he faces the lefty Rafael Devers, as the righty Matt Chapman waits on deck. Eric Fetty waiting in the bullpen, supposed to get the bulk of the innings here today. Well, Venable deciding to go with Hudson just to set up Fetty for success later in this game, as Fetty has had some tough first innings so far this season, but Hudson a good start to this one. Two-two pitch. Got him swinging. So here comes Will Venable. That'll be it for the opener. 4 up, 4 down for Brian Hudson.
Well done by Hudson. Got down 2-0 here to Devers to start the inning. That would have been bad look if he was having a walk right there, but comes right back at Devers, able to strike him out, and exactly how you draw it up if you're the Chicago White Sox.
Hey, give this man a hand. Let's clap it up. Clap it up, Brian Hudson. Good start to this ball game. Making way for Eric Fetty, who will come in when we come back after this pitching change. So handshakes for Brian Hudson, who retires all 4 batters that he faced, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Sox.
Watch your head, Brian. And here's Eric Fetty. He's coming in for the 10th time so far this year. ERA north of 4. Last time out against the Cubs, just didn't have his best stuff. Gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, threw 92 pitches over 3 innings pitched, and that was in part due to 4 walks. So getting back in the strike zone would be a big leg up today if he's able to do that, and using that sweeper is generally the ticket.
Now, the key when you have an opener and then you have a bulk reliever come into the game is all about communication. And Will Venable has been really good with his guys, letting them know the approximate spot that they will come into this game. And he told him Matt Chapman is the most likely spot, and here Eric Fetty is facing him with 1 out here in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, players like when you tell them your plan. Sometimes that doesn't go exactly the way you want it to, but more often than not, being open and honest with the players, having that kind of communication is invaluable in a big league clubhouse. Big leaguers want to be told the truth, and that's all they ask.
Especially a guy like a starting pitcher, right? He just wants to know, at what time do I need to start getting warm? How soon do I need to be ready? And for which batter approximately should I be ready to come into this game? 2-2. Just missing upstairs, and the count is now full here to Chapman. Slow start, just .228 batting average of the season. And a called strike 3, but an immediate challenge by Chapman. ABS powered by T-Mobile as we take a look at this pitch. Oh!
Call is confirmed. San Francisco has 1 remaining challenge.
Call is confirmed. Let's go to Connor for a scoop from the clubhouse.
Roster move for the White Sox today, John. Jordan Hicks lands on the injured list. He's been trying to pitch through this for a little bit. You'll remember leading up to that Cubs series, they laid off of Hicks for a little while, now on the IL. Jordan Leisure back up, pitched in 4 games at AAA Charlotte, pitched well. He'd been dropped into leverage spots pretty much all season. They've relied on him a ton. They'll get him a little bit of a different landing spot as they work him back into the mix here.
All right, good stuff, Connor. I'm going to get into that later in this game once we start to get into the bullpen. Talk about Jordan Hicks, some of the things that he was pitching through, but also Jordan Leisure, because Will Venable really gave him some high praise. And he said, I feel like we put him in some really tough positions this season when games are on the line. And just wanted to explain their thought process, sending him down and now bringing him up here today. Eric Fetty with the strikeout to the first batter that he faced. And it's 0-2 here in the catcher, Daniel Susac. In 7 starts this season, Eric Fetty has allowed 8 first-inning runs. Part of the reason why the White Sox want to set him up for success, bringing him in here in this 2nd inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Another thing for Fetty, he's given up 11 home runs in 9 outings this season. But the Giants are 3rd worst in Major League Baseball, only hitting 41 home runs this season. So this could be the outing that gets Fetty in the right direction. Swing and a miss.
That'll help.
As Fetty strikes out the first 2 that he faces as we put an end to this 2nd inning.
Sweeper.
Thanks for joining us here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in the Bay Area. Top of the 3rd we go, scoreless between the White Sox and the Giants. Jarred Kelenic in the lineup. He was supposed to get the start in right field last night, but during batting practice took a line drive off himself in a late scratch. But as you can see, healthy enough to get the start here today. Adrian Hauser, he has been firing in strikes since this one started and has faced the minimum through 2. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout already for Hauser. This half inning is brought to you by Hyundai. Well, Gordon, you talked about it. It wasn't the best start of the season for Adrian Hauser. In April, in 6 starts, had an ERA north of 7. But in May, in his last 3 starts, an ERA close to 2. He has been a very different pitcher lately for San Francisco.
He looks like it, mowing through the White Sox. You know, it's interesting because their night last night, 9 runs in 1 inning. You would think, you know, incredible offensive performance, but really they took good advantage as that ball smacked to right.
Tristan Peters, first hit of the ball game as it comes here with 1 out in the 3rd inning.
But they really just took advantage of mistakes last night and then had that big inning. But other than that, they had some base runners, but no other hits throughout the game. So you'd like to see a little bit more consistency if you're a White Sox fan. But ultimately, if you're getting a win, you're getting a win.
It's kind of wild when you think about it. You see the final score, 9-4. But the White Sox were held hitless outside of that 4th inning. Even in that 4th inning, we only saw 3 balls that were hit make it out of the infield.
Right. The ones that did make it out of the infield, though, were the opposite way, which were really good approaches. Benintendi, Murakami, and Hill all going the other way for big knocks. Great approaches. And they had it when they needed it, right? In Seattle, they're facing a really good staff. And yesterday, maybe the staff is not as good here in San Francisco, but the staff, the offense is kind of, you know, like I said, it's hit or miss right now. Luckily, it was hit and hit in a big way.
I think also a guy who is not in the starting lineup here today, Derek Hill. He was the late-minute replacement for Kelenic. Came through, 2-strike count, delivered a hit. Everyone just kind of pulling their weight right now. Bottom of the order, the catcher, Drew Romo, squares around, but takes that pitch for a strike. And it's 1-2 count.
For me, when the offense isn't going like just gangbusters, to be able to find ways to win like they did that one game in Seattle and then they did last night, you know, they had that big inning. Like, that's all it takes sometimes. And there's going to be moments where they're just not hitting, but if it continues the way it has, they're going to find ways to win games, even when they're not feeling great at the plate.
Will Venable and his squad looking to take game 2 and win this series here against the Giants. After dropping 2 of 3 to start this road trip in Seattle. 2-2. Swing and a miss by Romo. Let's all play ball. Don't miss Play Ball Weekend. It is coming up on June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today. So top of the order. First time through the White Sox with just one hit off Adrian Hauser. Sam Antonacci was one of the 4 strikeout victims as he went down looking. Adrian Hauser has already tied a season high with 4 strikeouts to start this one. It was an amazing story how the White Sox even got him to begin with last season. He was in the minor league system for the Rangers, and the analytics department for the White Sox had been tracking players and noticed that there was an uptick in the velocity for Adrian Hauser. So they started really digging into the numbers and seeing that his stuff was really jumping off the charts. Hauser decided to opt out of his minor league deal, and he had some offers, but he decided to go with the White Sox because they gave him his spot in the rotation. And he really flourished and was flipped at the deadline.
He did, and he was rewarded getting a major league contract here in San Francisco.
3-0.
Got some pretty nasty movement. 94 right there, middle of the plate, and that ran all the way to the edge. So far that Antonacci thought about challenging it. Smart to not do that, though, seeing it's only 3-1 now.
Peters on at first with speed. As the pitch fouled away, it's now a full count.
Yeah, Hauser pretty quick to the plate, too. Peters has not been very far off the bag and has not even thought about going. Shows you how quick he is to the plate, because Peters can really run, and also gets 3-1. If you get to 3-2, you know Peters is going on the pitch.
There goes Peters. And a squibber off the end of the bat, fielded by Chapman at third, as Antonacci is thrown out at first. White Sox with just 1 hit today. We are scoreless. Join us for $5 Tuesdays, aka date night. All fans will enjoy a specially priced $5 concession menu, including draft beers from Miller Lite or Modelo. Get Garrett Popcorn Stadium Buttery, Vienna beef hot dogs or Polish sausages, Beggar's pizza slices. You get nachos, select Coca-Cola products. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/Tuesdays. Welcome back. Home half the third. We start. No score between the White Sox and the Giants. Eric Fedde, a great start, striking out the first 2 batters that he faced in the second. And here's the top prospect in the Giants organization, Bryce Eldridge, all 6'7" of him.
Giants like drafting baby giraffes. Eldridge, one of them. And Brandon Belt is the guy that I played against, who I consider a baby giraffe. Not as tall as Eldridge, but similar in stature.
Just 21 years old, so you can tell there'll be a lot more put on that long frame of his. Three-two pitch from Fedde. Part of the focus for Eric Fedde here today is going after hitters. No free passes in the last outing on Sunday. Gave up 4 walks against the Cubs. That's what got him in trouble. Payoff. Who's going to win this battle to start the bottom of the third? This one is turned on down the right field line. And foul. Ooh. You see the power from the youngster Eldridge.
Yeah, just hooks this ball foul. Let's see where the pitch was. It's that slider sweeper in the middle of the plate. He smokes it, but around it and foul.
10th pitch of the at-bat. He's fouled off the last 5. Eric Fetty not giving in. Here's pitch 11. And it is delivered into right field. A single for Eldridge. First hit of the game for the Giants.
Sox fans, never miss a moment, even if you miss the first pitch. New on the CHSN app, start from the beginning and hide the scores. Your home for the White Sox baseball. Stream every game, plus pregame and postgame coverage with Chuck and Ozzy. Get started today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
Certainly did not look like a 21-year-old in that at-bat. 11 pitches, finally delivering a single in the right field.
That was a pretty impressive at-bat, especially because he hit a home run foul, and then he lines one to the left side, staying on it, and then finally gets another pitch in the middle of the plate and smokes it to right. So you don't want to see a guy like that start to get some confidence at the plate. Maybe he can get some confidence after the White Sox leave.
You also love that Fetty didn't give in and didn't issue a walk there.
Yeah, he's hitting 130, 140 on the season. Make him hit his way on. He's a good prospect, but he has been scuffling.
The appeal to first did not go around. As Chris Guccione, the crew chief, on the call there.
Yeah, the little mini did not go on that one. Didn't want to work the shoulders too much. I can appreciate that, Chris.
Center fielder Harrison Bader. Chopper to short. Montgomery starts it off. My drop, a throw to first. Double play turn. 6-4-3.
Montgomery to my draw to Murakami. It's our Steinhoffels double play. Steinhoffels donates $200 to Special Spaces Illinois for every double play. Double plays that make a difference. Slowly hit, but a well done turn right there by my draw. Good feed by Montgomery. And they get Bader at first base, 2 outs.
I spoke to Chase Mydroth at his locker before the game here, and I asked him about that lengthy 4th inning yesterday. He said, yeah, that's a plus for us, but our real focus is on the defensive side. In the air. This one's going to be trouble, and it's going to drop just over the head of Vargas. So a single for Drew Gilbert with 2 outs here in this 3rd inning.
Good hustle by Vargas. He was never going to catch this ball, but you see where he is. This ball could have scampered away from him if he hadn't had a lot of hustle out there to get to that ball. Keeps it in front of him, and because of that, Gilbert stays at first base. If he doesn't hustle after that ball, that's probably a double and a runner in scoring position for the leadoff hitter, Adames.
Just finishing that thought on Mydroth, he was saying part of the success for this team has been controlling the things that you can control. So those routine plays like that double play just turned. Focusing and putting a lot of your attention on those plays, knowing that if you make them consistently enough, you will have success over the course of the season. Foul tipped into the glove. Strike 1. Offensively, you're going to go through swings, right? You're going to have ups and downs throughout the course of the season, but you can have some consistency defensively.
Yeah, generally defense is not something that just ebbs and flows. It's generally either there or not. Yes, you're going to run into a few games where you struggle, you make a couple too many errors and you lose a game, but ultimately defense really should never slump.
That bat just completely sawed off as the pitch fouled away.
We can confirm that it's not corked and there is no major scandal. Gonna rock the Giants. Look at that pitch, just 2-seam in. Adames took a big hack at it and he loses half of his bat.
First time for Fetty, facing the top of the order. One-two pitch. was a great start for the opener, Brian Hudson, retiring the first 4 that he faced, giving way now to the bulk reliever, Eric Fetty. Two balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs here in this third. And check on the runner at first. Fetty deals on the ground. One hopper to Colson Montgomery gets the force to end this third inning. Pitchers have been in control. No score in San Francisco. Well, as we start the 4th inning, let's look back on the 4th inning from last night when the White Sox put up all 9 runs.
13 total batters coming to the plate for the White Sox. You see the 9 runs, and the craziest part about this is the only ML team in modern era to score 9 runs in a 9-run inning, with all the runs coming in that inning for the game. Pretty amazing.
Tapper back to the mound as Murakami is retired to start this 4th inning.
Today's game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender. Level up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank. Love where you bank.
The 3rd season for Miguel Vargas here with the White Sox as a challenge on that pitch.
Catcher's challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Yep.
Comes on turn. San Francisco retains 1 shot.
That was almost a gift by Vargas, who was obviously going to take that pitch after a 1-pitch out from Murakami to lead off the inning.
Ooh, this one is just ripped to center field as Miguel Vargas, a loud single with 1 out here in this 4th inning.
I'm out.
Well, let's go to Connor.
Colson Montgomery was basically laughing while on a dead sprint to first last night during the White Sox 9-run 4th. In his first at bat of the night, lined one right at Rafael Devers at first base. He snapped an 0 for 12 with a roller off the end of the bat, hit to 5-time Gold Glover Matt Chapman. Montgomery and Devers laughed about it at first base. Devers said, "You hang around this game long enough, you see all kinds of things." Colson was happy to end the 0 for, almost happier with the lineout. I asked him if he knew he had a hit when he left the batter's box. He said, "Oh yeah, you got to beat that one out no matter what."
I'm going to be completely honest. How in the world is that 71 miles per hour off the bat? I mean, it trickled off the bat. That ball was going to roll 71 miles over an hour. I just don't believe it. I mean, if you saw it live, you know what I'm saying.
I get it. I think it's the same as that home run by Murakami in Sacramento. Colson Montgomery, it's going to drop in front of Gilbert in right field. Vargas scampering first to third with 1 out here in this 4th inning, and the White Sox threatening.
Couple singles back-to-back by the White Sox. There's a changeup, and see, it's Colson staying on it just a little bit longer. He's made a really good adjustment from Seattle to San Francisco, and he's staying on that baseball just a tick longer. It doesn't take much, and he's been much more competitive over the last couple days. White Sox are threatening 1st and 3rd, only 1 out.
Meidroth grounded out to 3rd his first time up, as Adrian Hauser set to throw pitch number 50 here today. Are you seeing better at bats by the White Sox here the 2nd time through the lineup here against Hauser?
I think so. I mean, they're obviously seeing him a little bit better, but you know, Murakami didn't have a great at bat, but then a couple of good at bats following. That's good. That's not.
Tapper in front of the plate. Hauser, bare hands, throws to first. As Montgomery gets to second, there's now 2 away.
Yeah, a couple singles and a couple tappers, and unfortunately for my draw, this one's not hit the right spot. If he taps this down the line, it's probably an RBI, but it just goes right back towards the pitcher, and the only person that can advance is Colson from first going to second. Shows you the sinker that he has, that Hauser has, and he's been throwing well this month. Good movement on it, getting a lot of tappers.
Benintendi rips it to right field, but Gilbert is there, and that will end the threat in this top of the fourth. This half inning was brought to you by Toyota. Join us at the ballpark on Memorial Day, May 25th, as the White Sox take on the Twins at 1:10 p.m. 10,000 fans at the ballpark will receive a Chase Mydroth bobblehead presented by the Village of Bedford Park. To purchase tickets and prepaid parking, visit whitesox.com/promos. 2-3-4 in the Giants' order coming to the plate here in this home half of the fourth. Eric Fetty had 12 pitches in the second, 22 in the third. As the White Sox hope to get some length out of Fetty here on this Saturday afternoon. Bottom of the fourth, this half inning is brought to you by Davis Law. This one is launched into right field, but Kelenic will not be able to get there. Looked like he was tracking it, but just past his glove. Arise, he keeps running. A stand-up triple as the ball comes back in to start this bottom of the fourth.
Looked like Kelenic thought he was underneath it, and that ball just kept traveling out to the right center wall. Felt like he had a beat on it, but last second you could tell his feet picked up. He thought he had it right here, and then all of a sudden, nope. That ball kept traveling into the deepest part of the park. And that's a triple for the Giants.
Infield for the White Sox will come in as Casey Schmidt, 286 batting average coming into play today, steps in. Breaking ball lands, strike two. It was a deceptive ball because I was tracking the way Kelenic was going after it, and it looked like he felt like he had a beat on it, but the ball just continued to carry on him and just go over his glove.
Yeah, I thought he was going to catch it, and it just kept going. It looked like he felt like he was going to catch it, and then I think the way the wind's blowing, it kind of pushed it a little bit away from him into that gap. And when he figured it out, it was too late.
All right, let's take another look at that play off the bat of Arise.
So it looks like he's on it there, and then it kind of just probably not his best route he's ever run.
1-2. This one is deep to right field. Drifting back is Kelenic at the track. It is plenty deep to score the run from third as Arise tags. And the Giants strike first, leading it 1-0 here in the fourth.
Sac fly by Schmidt. Gets a ball up in the zone and takes it out to right, landing on the track. That got the job done, and it's 1-0 San Francisco. Rise scoring easily from third base.
Fair ball, a late call at first. As Devers, a loud single.
Giants start to get a little bit of momentum. You can feel it. It's a cutter slider on the inside corner of the plate. Devers all over it, and this wasn't fair by much. I think the umpire had to think about it for a minute, Chris Guccione down there, but made the right call. And it's another knock in this inning for the Giants.
That thing was well off the plate. but still almost 106 miles per hour off the bat of Devers. And they're starting to square up some baseballs against Fetty now.
Yeah, the positive for the White Sox is that there's not a lot of foul territory once you get mid-outfield down the right field line. So that ball hit right off some padding and straight to Kelenic to keep Devers at first base.
Open hole on the right side as Chapman finds it. Devers first to third, the throw to third, and that allows the trail runner to get to second.
Ball's hit through the 4-hole. It looked like Devers was going to stop at second base, and I think Kelenic thought he was, but kept going. Kelenic throws it all the way to third base, and on the throw, Chapman, good base running, sees that high throw. You can see it here. Great shot by our crew. No chance to get him at third base, but a late throw, and that put Chapman on second base.
So the third hit for the Giants here in this fourth, as Zach Bove made a quick visit to the mound to talk to Fetty. And that one is hit well in the left field. Devers scores, throw is cut off, another run comes in. A two-run single for Daniel Susac, and the Giants make it 3-0 here in the fourth.
Well, we were talking about it, John. The momentum was starting to definitely swing the Giants' way, and they've made some really good swings here in this inning. They're having themselves a fourth inning to remember. So far, it's not over yet. Good read by Chapman, going almost immediately as that ball leaves the bat, and it's now 3-0 Giants.
You know, looking at the location of some of these balls that have been smoked, Devers, that one was a couple balls in off the plate. That one there to Susac was right on the corner. It's not been the location. What is it that you're seeing from these Giants hitters that they're just picking up the ball now from Fetty?
Well, I mean, I don't know what's changed, but they're definitely putting some better swings on it. You've seen guys going the other way, staying inside the baseball. Even the one that Arise hit to right center gap, he stayed inside that baseball. Better swings against Fetty the second time through.
Giants have put 5 balls in play here in this fourth inning. 4 of them have been hard hit. That's anything 95 miles per hour or over off the bat.
Yeah, so far the two guys that have faced Fetty twice, both gotten singles here in the fourth inning.
Eldridge had that lengthy 11-pitch at bat back in the third inning where he eventually singled into right. It was over 109 miles per hour off his bat. 1-2. Good pitch, freezes him, and a challenge from Eldridge on called strike 3. ABS powered by T-Mobile as we take a look. And the call is overturned. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just 1 out here in the fourth. And on the hands, a floater into right field, and it's going to drop. Another hit, the second for Eldridge here today.
Challenge helps. Eldridge, second hit of the day. A little bit off the hands and off the label, but like we just talked about, stayed inside of the baseball. Pretty good swing. It's a good path. And the Giants are just, besides that first single, they're singling, sorry, besides the first triple, they are singling the White Sox to death.
Harrison Bader sends that one out of play into the seats. Bader grounded into a double play in the 3rd inning. As Fetty could use another ground ball here in the 4th. I feel like that breaking ball has been one of his best pitches so far today.
Well, that's his go-to, right? That's what he's going to use to miss some bats. You've seen a lot of those sinkers, changeups being hit this inning. Sweeper, his best pitch. There it is again.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Bader went around strike 3.
Sweeper down and away. This is a good one. Never a strike, but enough to get Bader to check his swing and offer it that pitch. Yep, great angle by our crew. 2nd out of the inning.
Giants have 7 hits in this ball game. Drew Gilbert providing a single his first time up in the 3rd. This is pitch number 25 this inning for Fetty. He gloves this one off the bat of Gilbert, walks it over to the bag at first, and will put an end to this 4th. Giants put up 3 runs and will lead it after 4. Bring your group out to a White Sox game. The best way to save on single game prices. We have private areas for corporate outings, families get-togethers, and more. For more information, visit whitesox.com/groups or call 312-674-1000. Three runs put up by the Giants in that 4th, and they lead it 3-zip over the White Sox as we start this 5th inning. Bottom 3 in the order for the White Sox, starting with Jared Kelenic. Lets this one deep into left. Schmidt drifting back, looking up, and it goes off the wall. A stand-up double by Kelenic to start this 5th inning.
This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty. Kelenic going the other way and off the wall, off the chevron sign, just missing a home run, and a good bounce back for Kelenic and the White Sox here in the top of the 5th.
Strike 1 here to Tristan Peters, who singled his first time up in the 3rd inning. Interesting. Made the team defensively and for his bunting skills, but now he has turned into a different type of a player. He has been hitting the ball hard recently. That first at bat of his, it was almost 104 miles per hour with a single. Since May 13th, Tristan Peters has a hard hit rate of 39%. That is up from under 23% last season. So with the playing time, Tristan Peters making the most of this opportunity. One-two pitch. Runner on at second, nobody out in this 5th inning. 1-2. Way inside, just missing Peters. This half inning is brought to you by St. Xavier University. These are the quality at bats you look for. White Sox trying to scratch their first run across, as Peters now fouling off pitch after pitch.
Yeah, if the White Sox can find a way just to start scratching some runs, they haven't had a lot of offense other than that 4th inning yesterday. Got a guy on second base. If you can move him over and find a way just to play some situational baseball, you get right back in this game quick.
2-2. To the right side and over the head of Arise at second. Kelenic had to wait till he gets to third, and still nobody out.
Nice job right there, moving the runner, getting a knock. Great at bat right there by Peters, and you can see Kelenic did have to wait. The ball just over the leaping stretch of Arise, and it's 1st and 3rd. Nobody out here for the White Sox. Drew Romo at the plate.
These were the situations we saw in Seattle where the White Sox were not able to capitalize on. We saw bases loaded, nobody out where they didn't score. Here is runners on at the corners, nobody out.
Well, any runs right here would be a good answer for that bottom of the 4th by the Giants, but now that you've got 1st and 3rd, nobody out, you want to see them put up a crooked number.
We have seen some pop from Romo with 4 home runs this year. They didn't like that one. Called on the corner, strike 2. Couple shake-offs from Hauser. Off double by Kelenic. Peters followed with a single. Runners on at 1st and 3rd. 1-2. We're certainly seeing White Sox hitters be a little more patient, making Hauser work harder now. Romo trying to come through. Outside, and it's now full.
We'll have to see if they send Peters at first base. Hauser pretty quick to the plate, but ground ball would be 2, so it might put Peters in motion. We'll have to see how they play it.
Here's the payoff. Hit hard and into right field. A single from Romo. That will score Kelenic as Peters goes 1st to 3rd. White Sox get on the board. It's a 3-1 game here in the 5th.
Nice at bat by Romo. A few back-to-back. Kelenic, Peters, and Romo, bottom of the lineup, doing it right here. They wanted it in. They got it up. And Romo does his job, knocks it through the 4-hole. RBI. Good job by Peters as well to go 1st to 3rd. And White Sox back at 1st and 3rd. Nobody out. Follow our Chicago White Sox at chicagosportsnetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
Well, this second time through the order, the White Sox, much better approach against Hauser. That's now 5 hits in the last 7 at-bats. As the lineup turns over, top of the order, Sam Antonacci.
Great job by the bottom of the lineup coming through, and a great answer so far by the White Sox. Hopefully they can put up a few more.
Antonacci, wow. Adames, the flip to second. That's all they'll get as a run scores from 3rd. But Adames saved a big inning, as that was a heck of a play for the out.
I mean, a first-class play by Adames. Absolute web gem up here Ball whizzes right past Hauser's head, and Adames all over it. I thought this ball was easily ticketed for the outfield. He lays out, catches it. No chance to get Antonacci, who's running hard down the line, but Antonacci with an RBI, but gets robbed of a base hit.
We saw some sloppy play defensively from the Giants last night, but that was elite. As Murakami now stepping in, 70 pitches for Hauser. Murakami is 0 for 2 so far. He has grounded out to Hauser twice. A 1 pitch. Hauser is so reliant on hitting the edges, so if he is missing with his spots, he can get hit hard.
This just feels like a good matchup for Murakami. Obviously, he hasn't had a lot of success so far against Hauser in today's game, but it just seems like this would be a guy that Murakami wants to get to the plate against.
2-1. That one did not land. Ball 3.
And I also think that I just personally want to see a splashdown, you know?
We all do.
Gosh. A moonshot right now would make a lot of sense to me.
Gordon's putting it out there.
Doing my best. I mean, it's too pretty of a view to not have a home run head out into the water.
The Kayaks are waiting.
They are.
They want to be rewarded.
Look at this. Beautiful.
Antonacci on at first. 1 away in this 5th inning. 3-2. And Murakami goes down swinging.
Murakami goes after this one. He chased one, just tried to check it up, unable to do so. Second out of the inning here. Antonacci still on first base.
A good answer so far. After the Giants score 3, White Sox have answered with 2. And that one gets by Susac behind the plate. And Antonacci scoots to second.
Ball scoots under the glove. Look, yeah, trying to steal one at the bottom of the zone with Susac, and it just tips off his glove. That could prove pretty costly if Vargas is able to get a single right here, because you know Antonacci's probably going to score unless it's a scorcher. Pretty big at bat right here early in the game. They give up 3. Are they going to get 3 back here in the top of the 5th?
So the pass ball allowing Antonacci to get to second. As Vargas fouls that one away. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Sox trying to tie this game up here in this 5th inning. One, 2. This one is well hit into the gap. Bader on the move, and he's not going to get there. Antonacci scores from second. An RBI double for Miguel Vargas, and we are tied at 3 here in this 5th inning.
What a great answer by this White Sox offense. Vargas almost 105 off the bat and in the left center gap. The double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty. Outer third, and Vargas all over it. smokes that ball, and it keeps Ellen tracking away from Bader. And we got ourselves a brand new ball game, John.
What an effort. After the Giants score 3, the White Sox answer. We'll be back after this pitching change. Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner.
Matt Gage on for the 25th time so far this year. The 24 appearances were tied for 7th most in the MLB, and he's tough on lefties. Lefties just 2 for 23 against him so far this year.
So Miguel Vargas delivering the knockout blow. As Gage, the tough lefty, gets a swing and a miss. 1-1 here to Colson Montgomery. Colson 1 for 2 today, singling back in the 4th his last time up. How uncomfortable must this be for a lefty? You're looking at the back of Gage as he delivers that ball to the plate.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason he's tough on lefties. Difficult to pick up, and pretty good angle as well. Colson's going to have to work hard right here. Maybe try to find the other side of the field. Colson loves to juice that ball to right, but anything will do right here. Find some green grass in that outfield.
Sox looking to take their first lead of the ball game, 2-2. And it is in there as Montgomery goes down looking. But the Sox battle back. The RBI double from Miguel Vargas ties this game at 3. Join us at the ballpark on Saturday, May 30th, as the White Sox take on the Tigers at 1:10 p.m. 15,000 fans that are 21 and over will receive a teal and caro bobblehead presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. To purchase tickets and prepaid parking, visit whitesox.com/promos. All right, Gordon, is what you wanted. New ball game here for the White Sox as we start this home half of the 5th, tied at 3. Popped up. It is Peters calling for it by himself, makes the catch as Willy Adames is retired.
Shutdown inning would be a welcome sight for the White Sox. Fetty had a little bit of issues last inning, had 8 people come to the plate, gave up 3 runs. But a good start here to the top of the 5th. A few pitches and an out. Sorry, at the bottom of the 5th, because the White Sox are obviously on the road. And the Giants play here at home.
First pitch strike in there to Arise. This half inning is brought to you by Prevagen. All right, so there's been 2 other times this season that Eric Fetty has allowed 3 or more runs in an inning. He allowed 3 back in that 4th inning, and the first 2 times he did it this season, the next inning he has come back to shut down the opposing team's offense. Let's see if he can repeat that here in this 5th.
Gonna have to do it against the top of the lineup for the Giants. Arise already has a triple in this game and swinging a pretty hot bat. He always does that. Had a couple hits last night as well.
Arise shoots this one to the gap. As Kelenic will get to it and hold him to a single. Second hit today for Arise.
Second hit in as many innings. Let's see where this pitch was. Yep, middle of the plate to Arise, and that's going to be a knock more times than not. Held to a single, though, and Schmidt, one of their hotter hitters at the plate.
Schmidt had a sac fly RBI in the 4th inning, driving in the first run of the ball game. Giants added 2 more runs in that 4th. Part of the reason for the success of Schmidt this season is that he has been pulling the ball in the air more. And his barrel rate went from 9% to over 14%. As this one found the barrel and is not coming back. A 2-run shot for Casey Schmidt. His 10th of the season. That leads this Giants team. And San Francisco back on top, 5-3 here in the 5th.
Schmidt didn't miss much of this. Fastball in the middle of the plate. Might have been a cutter that just did not cut. Either way, it went a long way. You can see the swing and how stacked he is at the plate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one was going to be fair. And the Giants back up. 5-3 now, bottom of the 5th.
The 3rd did not go around. 1 ball, 1 strike to count here to Rafael Devers. As the home run ball has been an issue this season for Eric Fetty. Tenth outing of the season for Fetty. That's the 12th home run he has given up this season.
And it was a cutter, so it just did not cut right there. Just kind of spun in the middle of the plate, and that's a tough one. Throwing it to a righty, it's not going away from it at all. Just kind of spins right in the middle of the plate, and Casey Schmidt did what you do to those balls. Pulverized it.
Fly ball to center field as Peters on the warning track makes the catch for out number 2. So 5 runs given up. And that's the most runs that Eric Fetty has allowed so far this season. Here's pitch number 75. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Wind is pushing in, and Vargas cannot make the play. Chapman ends up at second as Vargas and Montgomery both fighting the sun on that pop-up.
Yeah, for me, this is Montgomery's ball, but I'm not sure who could see it or who didn't. Vargas clearly could not see it. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure the communication was not there. Montgomery either didn't see it or didn't want it, and Vargas unable to make the catch right there. It's a tough one, right up in the sun. But the play is not made. I think for me, it's just as a shortstop, you're moving towards that line. It's an easier play for you than the third baseman going straight back. But if there's no communication, it's hard to decide. And it did look like Vargas was kind of underneath it. And so without the guys talking right there, unfortunately, it drops, and potentially another run could score for the Giants here.
When you come back into the dugout after that inning, if you're the shortstop, third baseman, what are you guys talking about once you come off the field?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious they didn't have a lot to say. It's probably it's a conversation. It's a conversation saying, hey, you either got to let me know that you can't see it, or potentially Justin Jerschele might say, hey, Colson, if you can, go catch the ball. That's your ball. You know, you have priority if you can get there. And it wasn't a matter of him not being able to get there. So just unfortunate for the White Sox, but hopefully it doesn't hurt them. Fetty 4-pitch walk there. Looks like they're going to get a conversation from pitching coach Zach Bove.
So after that pop-up double to Matt Chapman, the 4-pitch walk to Susac, and Zach Bove is going to check on Fetty to see if he can get out of this 5th inning with 2 outs.
You can see by their shadows right in the infield. I mean, they're looking right at that first base line, and that looks exactly like where the sun is, pretty much straight above you. So when those balls go straight up in the air, it's difficult at this time of day, and the wind is whipping out here on the West Coast. You can see all the flags doing different things. Just depends on where you are in the stadium.
Pitch number 80 from Fetty, and it misses ball 1 here to Bryce Eldridge, who has 2 singles here so far today. Fetty's starting to miss his spots. That is now 6 straight balls. This becomes a huge at-bat to keep this just a 2-run ball game. Two balls and a strike. Lands it, strike 2. Fetty takes a peek at Chapman at second. Activity in the bullpen for the White Sox. Jordan Leisure just called up today. Payoff, and he lost them. Back-to-back walks, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs here in this 5th inning.
Will Venable, decision's got to be made here. They got Bader up. I think they're going to stick with Fetty here with the bases loaded. Couple outs. This will probably be, well, now they're going to go out, have a conversation. I think they might need to waste a little time here to potentially bring Jordan Leisure in. And that's exactly what they're going to do, John.
So they bought a few more pitches for Jordan Leisure to get warm, as he's still throwing in the bullpen. As Will Venable is going to make the move with 2 outs, bases loaded in this 5th inning. We will come back to San Francisco after this pitching change. 1 ticket plus a free meal. Grab your family and head to the ballpark with a family pack starting at $21 for select games. Each ticket purchase includes a hot dog, a drink, chips, and a cookie. For tickets, visit whitesox.com/family. Big spot in this ball game. New pitcher on the mound.
Yeah, welcome back to the big leagues. Jordan Leisure not getting eased in at all right here. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Important spot.
He will face Harrison Bader at the plate. And that first one missing, ball 1. Bader's 0 for 2, grounding into a double play and a strikeout so far today. Pops him up. It is. Romo in third. Nobody sees it, and it falls next to Vargas. Oh, boy. The second pop-up that falls in this inning. And new life for Bader at the plate. It is ruled no play.
Yeah, Vargas couldn't see it. There's not a worse thing in the world when you're coming in. You can't see it. Romo didn't want any part of it. Vargas can't see it. He's looking at Romo. Romo's looking at Vargas. And that ball drops.
So Leisure regroups. As he's just got to shake it off and stay committed and focused on Harrison Bader. 2 balls and a strike. That one sails upstairs. Ball 3. Crowd starting to make some noise because there's nowhere to put him. Bases loaded. Leisure deals. In the air, straightaway center. Peters drifting back, looking up, and it is gone. A grand slam for Harrison Bader after the White Sox unable to catch the pop-up that would got them out of this inning. And the Giants now break it open here in this 5th.
The Giants make it hurt. Unfortunately for the White Sox, they couldn't catch a couple pop-ups, and Bader has broken this game wide open. It's 3-1. You got to come to him, and he leaves the yard dead center. See the swing, and watch Peters. He knows it's gone about right there.
3rd career grand slam for Harrison Bader. He signed a 2-year deal in the offseason. The Sox were out of this inning with that pop-up, but it got lost in the sun, and Bader makes him pay. It is now 3-0 the count to the 9-hole hitter Drew Gilbert. Just when the White Sox tied it up, Giants score 6. This one is well hit as Peters will make the catch and put an end to this lengthy 5th inning. The White Sox Charities Garage Sale is back. Join us Saturday, June 6th at Rate Field. Admission, it's free and open to the public. You can shop game use equipment, autographed baseballs, bobbleheads, and more. For more information, visit whitesox.com/garage sale. Tough break for the White Sox, as Bader with a grand slam. And the Giants put up 6 runs in the 5th inning to lead it 9-3 as we start this 6th. Chase Madrath leads things off, 5, 6, 7 in the lineup. And he will start it off with a single into left field.
Nice start here to the top of the 6th. Hopefully the White Sox can get some momentum back. Obviously down 6 runs. It's going to take a lot of those, but Chase doing a good job to get the White Sox the taste out of their mouth on that bottom of the 5th. Brutal inning for them. And now Benintendi at the plate.
Top of the 6th. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. I think that inning was so tough because it was reminiscent of the White Sox the past few years. Defensively, the White Sox have been so smooth and sound this year. But a couple of pop-ups, and they were unable to make the plays. Is there something to be addressed there, or do you chalk that up to the conditions?
Well, it's not like Vargas makes a lot of bad plays at third base, so I think that it's a legitimate issue. The ball goes straight up the chute, right into the sun. I think the only thing I would say needs to happen a little bit better. It just needs to be more communication. Romo is probably best suited to go catch that ball, even though that's a really difficult play for him. But if the ball is going to go straight up in the air and the third baseman and shortstop are having a hard time seeing it, then the better angle is from a guy coming the other direction. But Romo didn't want any part of that, and Vargas couldn't see it. And then Colson wasn't there either. And I'm not saying Colson could have made that play, but when you know there's an issue out there as an infielder, you know everybody's got to be all hands on deck. And listen, I'm the first person that can't talk about a pop-up. I mean, like I said, I tackled the third baseman and pitcher one time, and I didn't have any issues with the sun. So it's not so easy when that ball goes way up in the air. But ultimately, guys, everybody's got to try to converge and find a way to talk through it. Better opportunity to get outs if you do that than just assume somebody else is going to make the play.
So with one out here in this sixth, Randall Grichuk, he will come off the bench and pinch hit as the Giants meeting on the mound to go over the scouting report. Grichuk, a specialist hitting against lefties. As Meidroth started this inning with a single on at first. The air down the line in right field. Long run for Gilbert, but it hits the netting out of play. Two balls, two strikes to count. You know, even after a tough inning, obviously a mood shift, momentum change. Look at the dugout for the White Sox. Everyone's on the top step. You got Mike Vassell trying to fire guys up, still trying to keep their energy high to try to come back in this game.
I think the White Sox are going to need Vassell's magic wand to get back in this one.
So Grichuk does go around, goes down swinging. It's time now for a message from Enken Law.
Colson, it's important to put the work in, isn't it?
Absolutely. Practicing early, staying late helps me stay locked in.
And if you've been injured, my team is here to help you. Call 312-6-million. Injury law made personal. That's Enken Law.
So back-to-back pinch hitters here in the sixth inning as Derek Hill now comes off the bench. Vitello, first-year manager of the Giants, looking on, trying to end a four-game skid for San Francisco. First pitch to Hill is fouled away. Sold out crowd here on this Saturday afternoon at Oracle Park. 40,172. He did not go around after showing the bunt, as you see. Packed house, beautiful weather, sun is out as the sun has been causing some havoc. What I will say is we went back to look. The only thing I can tell you about Vargas, he was not wearing sunglasses on either of those pop-ups. And I know you've said before some guys just don't like wearing shades.
Well, unfortunately, if the ball goes right up in the sun, sunglasses aren't going to help. You know, it's like you need those solar eclipse glasses potentially. I mean, but nobody's wearing those out there, so. You know, if it goes right up, there's not much you can do. The only other thing I would say is if you can, find a way to start looking the different direction. It sounds kind of crazy, but if Vargas came in there and tried to turn so he was looking at the third base dugout of the Giants, then possibly he might get a different angle and that ball might be just outside of that sun's reach, that he can just see the outline of the ball and sometimes you can catch it. But nobody feels worse than him. I know that. It's not a fun situation when you can't catch those pop-ups right in the sun. Feel completely helpless.
Derek Hill comes up empty there and goes down swinging. Bottom of the sixth, White Sox trailing 9-3. Some defensive changes with the pinch hitters entering the game. It is Grichuk in right and Derek Hill staying in place center. Jordan Leisure stays on the mound as he faces the top of the order, Willy Adames. Venable told us about Leisure. The reason why they sent him down last time was not for anything they wanted him to work on. It was because they were overusing him. So he went down to the minors for a reset. But the home run ball has been an issue for Jordan Leisure so far this season. One-two pitch. Got him upstairs. Let's go to Connor.
So Rich and Zach, 3 White Sox ticket reps, have a group of just over 30 Sox season ticket holders here for the series. And they went out to Alcatraz yesterday before the game. I scored an invite on the trip. I did my best, Julius Schulman, with the photography out here. Alcatraz, guys, on my bucket list. I'd always wanted to go. It was my first trip. I had no idea that there was a baseball yard in the recreational area for the inmates. And in 1959, players from the Milwaukee Braves, St. Louis Cardinals, and Pittsburgh Pirates visited the inmates and played a little baseball out there. You can see some of the setup and home plate out there with the big tower out there in front as well. A really cool trip. Definitely glad I was able to go. Big thanks to the White Sox ticket holders for having me.
I talked to some of the ticket holders, and they said it was kind of eerie getting inside of a cell. Did you get to experience any of that, Connor?
Oh, yeah. Those cells are tight, man. I mean, it is not a place you wanted to be for more than 5-6 minutes, let alone 5-6 years.
Whew. Well, got to experience The Rock.
Connor, you have seen the movie The Rock, haven't you?
Of course. I was a little disappointed. Nick Cage was not in residence when I visited the other day.
Yeah. Sean Connery, welcome to the Rock.
That's pretty good.
Childhood favorite of mine.
That ball is plunked into left center field as Casey Schmidt continues to hit here against the White Sox.
Breaking pitch. Out away from Schmidt, but he's got some good reach over that plate. Dumps it into left field for another base hit. This time, the single variety.
I remember growing up watching the Escape from Alcatraz triathlon on TV.
Sounds dangerous.
Got to swim through the waters, open water swimming, hit the bike, then hit the run. An intense competition, yeah.
Yeah, I would never do that.
Never?
No, are you kidding me?
I can't say never.
You know the sharks that are out there in between Alcatraz and the coast of San Francisco?
Can't think about it. Just go do it.
I'm going to figure out where the great whites are. I'm going to check it out right now because.
Connor, would you do it?
Absolutely
would you do
not.
the Escape from Alcatraz?
No, absolutely not. Getting out to the island and looking back, obviously there were famous escapes from Alcatraz, and there's really we don't know whether they made it or not. They were never found. But looking back onto mainland from the island, you think to yourself one thought, there's no way they made that swim. It's insane.
Well, the current would have taken them either out to sea or into the bay. There's no chance. Uh-oh. Another one up the chute.
Popped up, coming in is Murakami, and he cannot get that pop up.
Oh my gosh!
Mydroth covered the bag at first and safe, and the White Sox are having all kinds of problems with the sun here in San Francisco.
And they got him at first base. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable if you're the base runner Devers. I guess he thought it was foul, but I mean, what are you doing? And super thoughtful right there by Murakami to realize he still has a chance at first base, and if Chase is actually to keep his foot on the bag right here, it's a great play by Mydroth too.
So the play has been challenged by the White Sox. This is a Northwestern Medicine Manager's Challenge. We're taking a second look at the play. It's always a good idea to get a second opinion. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. If we can get another look at this one. That's Devers getting down the line. The throw from Murakami.
Sure looks like he's out. I mean, unacceptable if you're Devers right here getting thrown out at first. It is egregious.
We saw him standing around the plate for a long time. I can only assume he thought it was in foul territory.
Well, whether you did or you didn't, this can't happen. So, I mean, he's one of their prime players, and yes, they're up big. It's not probably going to be a factor in the game, but there's no way this can happen if you're one of their marquee players and getting thrown out with the ball that was hit a mile in the air at first base.
And how about the heads-up play by Mydroth to even get over there and cover the bag after that play was not caught?
100%.
And then the throw offline, has to make a dive to even catch the ball and keep his foot on the bag for this even to be a potential challenge.
No, it's super athletic play by Mydroth for sure.
All right, here's another look. It is close at first.
Watching the Jumbotron right here, it sure looks like he gets him. But the angle is not super favorable.
Right there, the ball is in Mydroth's glove.
Yep.
And Devers does not have his foot on the bag.
Yeah, I don't see this not getting overturned. It has. I'm surprised that the way it looked at first, it just looks like, how could he be out the way that Mydroth reaches for it, but I think he's out.
I think they're also looking to see and make sure that the foot of Mydroth was in contact with the bag at first.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. The runner is out.
Wow.
Chicago will retain the penalty.
Great hustle play by Mydroth to be in position, as that'll do it for this 6th inning. It has been an adventure.
Sox fans, enter for the chance to win the entire CHSN suite on June 13th in our summer sweepstakes. That's you and 9 friends in a private suite at Rate Field. To enter, scan the QR code on your screen or visit shop.chsn.com and sign up for a Sox summer pass between now and June 3rd. No purchase necessary. See official rules for details. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead. Here's Sam Hinchis on for the 6th time so far this year. An ERA still flawless at 0. He's got a 6-run lead in the bottom of the lineup in Drew Romo up at the plate. And he's up 0-2 on Romo.
We knew the elements were going to be a factor at some point over the course of this series. Not just the wind, but now the sun playing and making an impact on 3 pop-ups already here today. Was there a ballpark you can remember that was just tough with the elements, where you knew you were just in for a battle throughout the entire game?
I mean, with the wind blowing like this is a tough one. I mean, obviously anywhere. I mean, Chicago could be really tough as well. I mean, you'd have a ball go down the left field line that would, you know, push back 10, 15 feet into fair territory, and the same down the right field line. But when you see the flags basically blowing like they are right here, you got to be on your toes. And of course, with the sun just sitting up there, not easy today.
So walk to Drew Romo to start this 7th. That Sox walk is presented by IDOT. You drive, you text, you pay. It's not a game. Top of the order, Sam Antonacci, who is 0 for 3 today. We have seen some interesting plays so far in this ball game. Antonacci is going to challenge that last call of a strike. ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it does catch the corner, so the White Sox lose a challenge. One challenge remaining for both teams to finish this one. Ball, 2 strikes. We talked about Antonacci getting hit by pitches 10 times. He's already been hit this season, tied for the lead in Major League Baseball. I asked him, when did he notice that was even a skill of his? And he said, probably sometime around high school. So in high school, that's when you realize just how important winning is, and you have to do anything you can to try to get on base. And he said, especially with this team, he said, my job is to just get on with the big bats coming from behind me. So if it takes getting hit, that's fine. That's now part of my game. Goes down swinging there. First out here in the 7th. Let's go to Connor for a trip down on the farm.
On this trip is the Director of Player Development, Paul Yanish, and he spoke today about two arms in the system you want to keep an eye on. Christian Opper, one of the more talented guys in the White Sox minor league system, headed back to the complex league, not dissimilar from Colson Montgomery. Last year, the walk's just an issue for him. And one guy to watch, Gabe Davis, a 5th-round pick last season, been pitching very well, and a guy that we might see climb up on some top 30 lists soon, fellas.
All right, Connor, thank you so much. Taka Murakami at the plate here with 1 away in the 7th. So if you're just not familiar, Colson Montgomery was pulled from his minor league season last year, sent to the Arizona complex for a couple of weeks to just get away from baseball games every day, work on his swing, figure out how to get back on track. And that's what the White Sox are going to do now with Christian Opper. Called strike 3 to Murakami, out number 2.
Hentges just paints the outside corner with this one. No argument from Murakami, and yeah, you can see it right on the edge. And John, I said there's a bunch of sharks in between Alcatraz and San Fran. I can confirm. Well, let's see if they'll catch a pop-up.
This is Devers in foul territory, and he was able to make the catch.
Well, story of the day. Time for the upcoming schedule presented by Toyota. Let's go places. There's going to be one more game here in San Francisco tomorrow afternoon. Join us. And then it's back to Chicago, where they'll play a 1:10 game on Monday. That's a big hang with them. Followed by 3 more against the Twins. You've got 3 against the Tigers, 3 more in Minnesota, followed by an off day. And then it's to Philly to play the Phillies. And Trevor Richards on for the 8th time so far this year. Had a good 9th inning last night against these Giants. Sat them down 1-2-3.
Notice by that schedule, not many off days on the horizon for the White Sox. Currently in a stretch of 13 games in a row without a day off. This is game 2 of that stretch, so White Sox have to try to preserve their energy over these next 2 weeks. Coming off the off day on Thursday that was spent here in San Francisco. Get some golfing in?
I did. I went and played some golf.
How's your swing right now?
Terrible.
Is it?
Not good. It's the first time I've played in a month and a half, and I've had better days on the course, but we walked, and it was very hilly, so it was a good workout.
Okay.
It's great. A couple of good steak tacos at the turn. That locked me in for at least a hole.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Chapman.
You know, I didn't take the trip to Alcatraz like Connor did, and I am confirming that there are no great white sharks in the bay out here near San Francisco. I can confirm that there's a couple of Guadalupe fur seals, Red and Dr. Pam, hanging out offshore a couple miles.
What are we looking at that you're finding where the seals are at?
I'm on O-Search, Facts Over Fear.
Okay.
And that's where the Guadalupe fur seals are coming up. And we got a ball coming to us. Nope. All right.
So basically you said you were not going to compete in the Escape from Alcatraz triathlon because there were sharks in the water.
Well, there are sharks in the water, just not tagged white sharks. I mean, they obviously have to tag these animals, fish.
This ball is turned on down the line, but out of play. All right, so now that we know that there's no great whites, does that change your opinion?
Absolutely not. Because just because there's not a great white that's being tracked does not mean that it's not there.
Connor, what can you add to this shark conversation?
Yeah, leopard sharks, 7-gill sharks, smoothhounds, and soupfin sharks. Those are the most common sharks in the San Francisco Bay. Although there have been great whites in the bay, but it is very rare, Gordon, like you say. Most of these other ones, the leopard, the 7-gill, the smoothhound, the soupfin, of course, as you know, not harmful to humans. Don't often hunt them. The 7 gill is a bottom feeder. 8 foot long, though. You don't want to see them. It's a matchup problem.
Well, so there's nothing out there that's going to harm you.
Well, it's like when you're scuba diving and you see a nurse shark. Yeah, they're not generally going to come and get you, but you know what? I wouldn't mess with them. I wouldn't try to find out.
If you're swimming and you're focused on your goal, just get to the other side, nothing's going to bother you.
What happens if a fur seal just jumps out of the water and jumps on top of you?
You're thinking worst case scenario here.
Got to. When you're on open ocean,
what about the thrill of completing something like that? How about the positive side?
There is nothing thrilling about swimming in an open ocean in between San Francisco and Alcatraz. I can promise you that. The people that are doing that are absolutely nuts.
I might do it.
Well, you or my friend are nuts, but I want you to try. I would like to. I would like to hear the stories.
Nicely done here in the upper deck. This game was tied at 3 after the White Sox scored 3 runs in the top half of the 5th inning. But then a couple of pop-ups were not caught, giving extra life to the Giants, and a grand slam by Harrison Bader opened this game up, scoring 6 runs in the 5th. And that's where we stand here, a 9-3 game here in the 7th inning. Two-two. In there, called strike 3. Good pitch from Trevor Richards.
Richards just pumps a fastball right by Susac, looking for something different clearly, and he looks at that one for strike 3.
Okay, so we're taking triathlons off the table. That's not in your wheelhouse.
Roger.
What is something that you would do that's like a challenge, something you want to work for going forward? Is it shooting a certain score in golf?
I haven't shot par yet, so that would be a good one.
Okay.
That would be a good one. I'm glad you went away from something super athletic, because I don't want to go do some running. My knee's kind of jacked up right now, so don't want to aggravate it. I've got a big home run derby middle of the summer coming up.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Is that breaking news?
No. It's out there, I believe. Well, I don't actually know. It might be breaking news.
I think you just
Sorry.
broke some news.
Anywho, there's things that'll happen when you're down 9-3 in the 7th. Yeah.
Would you do this? Would you get on a kayak here in McCovey Cove?
Yeah, that sounds nice, I guess. I wouldn't be wanting to wait for a fly ball that lands there, though. Not many have done that over the history.
But it's part of the experience, right? It's part of the charm. You come out here to San Francisco, you rent a kayak. I don't even think they're that expensive. You can get out there, just kind of paddle around and
yeah, I mean,
wait for something to come your way.
See, that besides the landscape and the views, that doesn't seem super interesting to me. I mean, you're going to just kind of paddle around and see the edge of the wharf and see the barnacles.
Maybe you're having a conversation with the kayaker as they pass by, talking about how many balls have been put in the drink.
I could go to dinner and have a good conversation.
Fly ball in the right center field as Grichuk makes the catch. And it is time for the Prevagen moment. And we go back to the 5th inning. Harrison Bader, bases loaded, and he leaves the yard.
Yeah, 3-1 had to come to him. Unfortunately, it's up and out over the plate, and it got up and out of this ballpark. 106 off the bat, and just a line drive shot to the deepest part of the park, or one of the deepest part of the parks. And slider up and in. Nobody up here in San Francisco liked it, but clearly one that got away. Is there something you're eyeing besides the Alcatraz?
I'm actually trying to look up how much it would cost to rent you a kayak for tomorrow. I'll pay for it. I just don't know if there's any even available because it is a holiday weekend here in San Francisco.
How about we call the game from a kayak tomorrow?
I'm down with that. I don't know if we have
That could be us on the same
capabilities to pull that off.
I think it's going to be difficult.
Let's get a tandem kayak. Are you in the front or the back?
I'm just a paddler.
I'm in the front. That one up the middle. Diving stop by Mydrop to his feet. But the White Sox can't make the scoop at first. As Chapman scoots to third.
Unbelievable effort right here by Mydrop. I mean, if Murakami can come up with a big-time scoop, it is one of the plays of the year. Full layout, and let's see where the throw was. Yeah, I mean, he possibly could have had it. It's one of those in-between hops, and you got to take a chance if you're Mydrop and Murakami. Unable to dig it out. That was a tough one. Almost a great play. Was a great play. Just didn't make the play, and unfortunately it's an E4, right? That's one of those ones that is frustrating, but went after it. Good effort. You take that error all day.
So it's the error on the throw that allowed Chapman to get to third. And Drew Gilbert, bottom of the lineup, stepping in. Runners on at the corners, 2 out here in the 7th inning. Appeal to third, and it did go around. Richards, another strike. Trying to get out of this 7th inning.
Connor has just sent me visual proof of a great white attacking a seal near Alcatraz in 2015. That's why you stay out of the water, John.
So you're sending me something from over 10 years ago? Really? Popped up. Foul territory. Murakami will make the catch to end this 7th inning. Oh, we've been talking about him. All right, which one is the seal you were mentioning?
Oh, he's out there swimming in the ocean. These guys are lounging.
Welcome back here to Oracle Park. Top of the 8th we go. Game 2 of this series as the White Sox trail the Giants 9-3. And a new pitcher on the mound for San Francisco.
Joel Peguero on for the Giants. Not a ton of work, but the work he has put in pretty good. A 1.29 ERA. He inherits a 6-run lead and facing Colson Montgomery here in the top of the 8th with nobody out.
Colson Montgomery is 1 for 3 so far. A single coming back in the 4th inning. One of 8 hits in this ball game for the White Sox. White Sox entered play today. Over 500 at the 50-game mark for the first time since 2021. Slow roll to the right side, charging his Arise, and he makes the play on Colson Montgomery. All right, welcome back inside the booth. Alongside Gordon Beckham, I'm John Triffin. All right, we talked about it, potentially broadcasting from the kayaks. I looked it up, a tandem kayak for a 2 to 3 hour rental, $60. I'm ready to do it. You
Pretty
down?
cheap, pretty cheap.
Are you down?
As long as we can get the equipment out there, yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about today though. It's been a little bit hit or miss here. We were hit or miss yesterday, but scored 9 runs.
Pitcher's called the ball. Catcher's challenging.
More hits today, but not as many runs and some questionable defense.
Ball's overturned. San Francisco retains 1 challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. San Francisco is successful with that challenge. And an 0-1 count to start it off here against Chase Mydrop. was foul. And it was tough because the White Sox battled back. It was a 3-0 lead for San Francisco after 4. And then the White Sox put up 3 runs to tie the game in the top half of the 5th inning, and then things unraveled in the bottom half.
Totally unraveled. A couple of pop-ups went straight up in the sun. They were unable to catch them, and then unfortunately the big blow by Bader, yeah, a 2-run home run earlier by Schmidt in the inning put San Francisco up, but they were the White Sox were still in it at that point. And fast forward a few batters, and Bader goes deep, grand slam to center field, and that really put this game out of reach and just really doused some water on some White Sox momentum, and they haven't been able to pick it back up ever since.
I'm always looking for positives, right? The positive to take away from today is that in these first 2 games, we have not seen the best arms of the bullpen for the White Sox, Grant Taylor being used. So White Sox have some healthy bullpen arms to go in the finale of this series tomorrow.
Yeah, I think they'll be well rested, and they'll probably be using all their guys tomorrow when the time comes. You'd like to see Schultz come out tomorrow and have a good start, and then hand the ball off to the main guys down there that are put in winning situations, leverage situations.
Fly ball to right field as Gilbert makes the catch. Mydroth retired. 2 outs here in the 8th. Yeah, the closer, Sir Anthony Dominguez, who has not been used in this series, and this is also coming off a day off, so you don't want those guys to start to get too rusty.
Well, the interesting part about the series is last night when you were watching the Giants, they really looked like they were struggling defensively. They were kind of kicking the ball around. They didn't look sharp at all, and it's almost like today it's flip-flop. The White Sox just have not looked sharp. They've missed some pop-ups. They just haven't had their best stuff, and the score is very similar. So unless something changes drastically here in the 8th or the 9th, it looks like we're set up for a rubber match tomorrow with 2 teams both having a win, very similar wins, kind of lopsided victories. And if you're the White Sox, you just feel like you've got to get a series win here, the way that they've been playing and the way that the Giants have been playing.
Strike 2 called there to Benintendi. One, 2. Other thing is, after tomorrow, we showed the schedule, a big 4-game series at home against Minnesota, as the White Sox are finally going to play some more divisional games. Swing and a miss by Benny. It wraps up this top half of the 8th inning. Sox down big here in San Fran. Home half of the 8th we go. Giants up big on the White Sox here in game 2 of this series. Connor McKnight on the field, Gordon Beckham. I'm John Schriffen here in the booth. Thank you for spending your Saturday with us here on CHSN. A happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody. Hope you are with some friends, some family. Top of the order, Willy Adames leads things off here in this bottom of the 8th inning. We were talking about some juicy matchups and some games around the league we were looking at. Guardians and the Phillies. That game is in the bottom of the 3rd, still scoreless. As that one is a big one for Cleveland. They have won 7 in a row, and they face Zach Wheeler on the mound for the Phillies in that matchup.
Sure would be nice to see Zach Wheeler have a good day in Philly.
This hit well down the line, but foul. Rain out yesterday between the Cardinals and Reds, so they're playing a doubleheader today. And the Cardinals won game 1 8-1 over the Reds. Cincinnati is just 1-10 against the NL Central this year after that loss. The Cincinnati team, they were one of the hottest teams in baseball in April, and then when the calendar month turned to May, they just cooled off big time.
Lost 10 in a row until they beat the Astros.
The one's a final, the Blue Jays with a 5-2 win over the Pirates, and that was Paul Skeens getting the start against Toronto today. This one is well hit in the left field. Antonacci looking up, and it is gone. Willie Adames with his 6th home run of the season. A solo shot here in this 8th inning. And it's been all Giants here on this Saturday.
Adames solo homer. Now 10-3 Giants. It's just a fastball middle of the plate. And that's the Lexus home run replay.
Goes deep to center. Hill shielding his eyes from the sun, and he makes the catch. Anything up in the air today has been an adventure with this bright sun. Popped up left side. Montgomery and Vargas. It is Montgomery taking over, and he makes the catch there.
Sox fans, never miss a moment, even if you miss the first pitch. New from the CHSN app, start from the beginning and hide the scores. Your home for the White Sox baseball. Stream every game, plus pregame and postgame coverage with Chuck and Ozzy. Get started today at subscribe.chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
It looked like Montgomery was a lot more decisive there, really taking charge with that last pop-up.
And that's kind of what I was saying would have been better early on, is don't just think that Vargy's going to catch that ball. It's also harder going back at the third baseman, going straight back down the line. Shortstops generally have better angles coming towards the line. And I like the way that he went about that when he kind of changed what he was doing, and that's the right way to do it.
A fly out to center field as the White Sox down to their final 3 outs. We go to the 9th. The mascot for the Giants, Lucille, introduced back in 1996, hyping up the fans as we start this 9th inning. So this is what we would look like if we do the tandem kayak tomorrow.
Well, at least I look pleased.
And they put you in the front.
They sure did.
Nicely done.
Where's Connor?
If we could get the equipment out there, I'm already down.
Where's Connor?
You've seen me dangle off a building in Toronto, so you know I'm crazy enough.
Connor's playing lifeguard. Where's Matt? Matt and Stacy aren't out there. That's where we're going to broadcast from tomorrow. The lifeboat.
Second at bat of this ball game for Randall Grichuk. He pinch hit back in the 6th and struck out. 0-2. And shoots it through the hole on the right side. A single to start this 9th inning.
Nice job by Randall here, just taking what the defense gives him. Fastball outer third. He smokes it right where normally the second baseman would be, but he was shaded up the middle. Good swing by Randall.
That's a veteran right there. Even in a blowout game like this, you know, you never want to give away an at-bat. And he's grinding hard still in this 9th inning.
Well said.
Derek Hill also entered this game as a pinch hitter in the 6th and struck out. We've also seen this season the ability for the White Sox team, even in a tough game, to bounce back the next day and totally flush it.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that's it's in a way it's laughable, right? You know, because a couple balls go up, they can't see it. They're not making. I mean, 3 pop-ups drop. 1 you end up getting an out on at first base. I mean, like, how that's impossible for me to understand. But it's one of those ones, you know, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, and some that you lose are going to look bad. A lot of the White Sox losses this year have not looked bad. So I think that it's like, you know what? Just totally turn the page tomorrow and come back ready to rock. And I think that they will. They've done a good job of that all year.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the first one where you could kind of point out and be like, they just didn't look like themselves defensively today.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Jershly and see what his thoughts were.
Off the glove of the pitcher, and Derek Hill safe at first. So a couple singles here to start this 9th inning.
Well, Peguero reaches out, and this is a double play ball all the way if he doesn't reach out and try to grab it. As it stands, Derek Hill gets the benefit of it and gets another knock for the 8-hole, his first of the day.
Nine-hole hitter Drew Romo. 1 for 2 with a single and a walk today. I think I want to get in the kayak just because I want to see your reaction if a ball did come our way. You've been really good in the booth.
I would probably jump.
Once you get in the water, it's a whole new ball game.
Well, you know, if I was out there, I would definitely try to jump and make the catch. And by doing so, I'd probably capsize that boat. And so you'd fall in too. It'd just be a total disaster out there. But we'd find a way to keep calling that game. Electricity rolling through our bodies at that point. Headsets getting wet.
Bouncer up the middle. This could be 2. Adames steps on second, over to first. A double play turn as the White Sox down to their final out of this ball game with Grichuk now on third. The last chance is Sam Antonacci. A 1 pitch, put in play. Chapman at third, and that's going to do it. Tough one for the White Sox here today. This one was tied heading into the bottom of the 5th, but a 6-run inning by the Giants blew it open, and the final score 10-3. It'll set up the finale tomorrow with the series on the line.
White Sox didn't have their best stuff today, as you said, John, and it got away from them pretty handedly there in the bottom of the 5th. Some questionable defense and not enough offense, and the White Sox are going to be looking to win the series tomorrow with Noah Schultz on the mound.
Bring your bathing suit? You going to be ready?
Potentially.
Okay, potentially.
I'll be ready, but I don't know if I'm bringing the bathing suit.
Good deal. We appreciate you spending your Saturday afternoon with us here at the ballpark. It's a final. White Sox lose 10-3 for Connor McKnight, Gordon Beckham. I'm John Schriffen. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. After the break, White Sox postgame live presented by you.